Hello friends, I am Amit Belekar from Tips and Tricks by AMB welcomes you to my channel. Before moving further, if you still didn't subscribe to my channel, please click on subscribe button and click on bell icon to get notifications of all my new videos. Today in this presentation we are going to discuss about next part of pharmacodynamics. Already in my previous video named pharmacodynamics factors modifying drug action part 1, 2 and 3 we had discussed various factors affecting drug actions like body size, age, sex, genetics, route of administration, environmental factor, time of administration, psychological factor, pathological states, accumulation and presence of other drugs. In this video, we are going to discuss about one of the important factor which affects drug action, and that is drug tolerance. After going through this video, the learner will be able to define drug tolerance, classify drug tolerance and describe various types of tolerances with examples and describe tachyphylaxis in detail. So what is tolerance? Tolerance means an act or capacity of enduring or resisting something. We know that plants can live in high heat too. So we can say that plants can resist high heat or plant have a high tolerance for heat than the animals. If heat increases, animals protect themselves from heat by obtaining a shade or wetting themselves with the water or mud, isn't it? So as compared with plants, animals are having more tolerance to heat. So what is drug tolerance? When we consider tolerance in relation with drug, it is associated with the action of drug or effect of the drug. If drug produces the desired effect or action, drug is not tolerated in that person. So if action is produced, drug is not tolerated in that person. And if drug does not produces desired effect, then we can say that drug is tolerated in that person. So if we are not getting the effect, we can say that that individual is having tolerance against that drug. So in drug tolerance, individual has high capacity to resist the action of drug. At a particular dose, drug is ineffective. Thus, it is ability to resist or oppose the production of effect of drug in the body. So I will elaborate this. Consider a specific drug is able to produce the effect in an individual at therapeutic dose. So here individual is not having capacity to resist or oppose the drug action. If a person uses this drug on a continuous basis or after continuous use, drug becomes ineffective. That is, it is unable to produce the effect in that individual at the therapeutic dose or low dose which he is taking initially. Initially, that individual is not resisting the drug action at low dose, but now individual is resisting the drug action at the lower dose and hence the drug becomes ineffective at that dose. If we want the effect of drug as previous, we have to increase the dose of that drug. So we can get effect of drug but at higher dose than the previous lower or therapeutic dose, isn't it? So to get the effect, we have to increase the dose, and at lower or therapeutic dose we are not getting the effect, but at higher dose we are getting the effect which is previously achieved at the therapeutic dose. So here capacity of individual to resist or oppose the drug action increases. Such a phenomena or generation of ability in individual for the drug is called as drug tolerance. But how it is defined? So verbatim definition of drug tolerance is as follows. when an unusual large dose of drug is required to produce an effect which is previously produced by normal therapeutic dose of the drug. This phenomena is called as drug tolerance. Now we are moving to the types of the drug tolerance. Depending upon the onset of tolerance and characteristics of the tolerance, tolerance is divided into different types, and these types are as follows. So drug tolerance, it is divided first into the two types. First is true tolerance and second is pseudo tolerance. Now true tolerance is again divided into two subtypes. First is natural tolerance and second is acquired tolerance. Now natural tolerance is again of two subtypes. First is species tolerance and second is racial tolerance. Acquired tolerance is again having two subtypes. First is tissue tolerance and second is cross tolerance. We are going to discuss all these types of the tolerances with their examples one by one. First we are going to discuss about true tolerance. So what is true tolerance? In this type of tolerance, drug taken by any route, tolerance is developed for that drug in that individual. Let me elaborate. Tolerance is developed or present in an individual for a drug after its use by oral route. Then if it is taken by any other route like inhalation route or intravenous route or intramuscular route, tolerance is present for that drug in that individual. So once tolerance is developed, drug is taken by any route, tolerance is present in that individual for that specific drug is called as true tolerance. It is divided into two types, natural tolerance and acquired tolerance. So what is natural tolerance? As name indicates, it is present naturally in various species and races of animals from their birth. That is very, very important. So it is present from birth and it is present naturally in the animals or human being. So in this type of tolerance, person or animal need not to take the drug for long time to develop the tolerance. It is already present from the birth. That's why there is no need to administer the drug and then tolerance is developed. It is not like that. It is present from the birth. There is no need to take the drug by such individuals. Here tolerance is present in the person or animal for that specific drug from the birth. So in such case, effect of drug cannot be achieved even at first time administration of the drug. Even though drug is taken at the first time, then also we are not getting the effect. Okay, at therapeutic dose also we are not getting the effect, or if we increase the dose, then also we are not getting the effect. This type of tolerance is natural tolerance. This happens mostly because of genetic variation among the animals or species or races of the animals. Okay, and depending upon that, it is divided or subdivided into two subtypes. First is species tolerance and second is racial tolerance. So we will discuss these two subtypes of natural tolerance. So first we are going to discuss about species tolerance. So what is species tolerance? As name indicates, here tolerance is present for a specific drug in specific species of animals from the birth. So such species of animals can tolerate more quantities of drug which may be toxic to the human being or other species of animal. Understood? Thus a drug may not produce any effect at higher doses in a particular species, but same dose of same drug, if it is given to other species or animals, it may produce toxic effect in these animals. Let me explain with an example. Rabbit can tolerate large amount or large dose of belladonna. Now, why such ability is present in the rabbit? Because rabbit's liver and plasma have atropine esterase enzyme, and this atropine esterase enzyme is having ability to rapidly detoxify or destroy or metabolize the belladonna, that is atropine. So if rabbit eats more belladonna also, because of this atropine esterase enzyme, its metabolism can take place rapidly, and there is no effect is achieved in the rabbit of belladonna or atropine. But if same dose, if it is given to the human being, then what happens? It may produce toxic effects in the human being. So rabbit can tolerate large quantities of belladonna or atropine, but same dose if it is given in the human, it may prove toxic, lethal to the human being. That is the species tolerance, and it is present naturally from birth. Understood? Now we will move to the second subtype, that is racial tolerance. So as name indicates, here also tolerance is present for a particular drug or specific drug in specific races of animals, okay, or humans. So individuals belonging to specific races can tolerate more quantities of drug which may be toxic to other races. So in one race the drug cannot produce effect if it is taken in large quantities also, and in other races at therapeutic dose also there are chances of production of toxicity. So that is the racial tolerance. So we will discuss it with an example. When solution of ephedrine is instilled in the eyes of Caucasian people means white races people, white people, and if solution of ephedrine is instilled in the eyes of these white peoples, it produces prompt dilation of the pupil. Pupil gets dilated rapidly, very prompt effect we can get. But same quantity of ephedrine, if it is instilled into the eyes of the Negroes or black peoples, it does not produce any dilation of pupil. So because of this racial difference, even though drug is same and dose is same, in one race we can achieve the effect and in other race we are not achieving the effect. So that is nothing but the racial tolerance. Understood? Thus we can say that Negroes are tolerant towards the ephedrine than the Caucasian people or white people. Now next type of tolerance, true tolerance, is acquired tolerance. This type of tolerance is not present from the birth. It is obtained only after administration of the drug, and hence here to develop tolerance the person or that individual have to administer the drug first, and then tolerance it is going to be developed. It develops only after repeated administration of drug in the individual who are previously responsive. So previously in that individual we are getting the effect of that drug in that dose, but now we are not getting the effect of that drug in that dose. So that is nothing but the acquired tolerance. The drug is effective previously, and after repeated administration of drug becomes ineffective. This is acquired tolerance. So to get acquired tolerance, the person should be exposed to the drugs. Thus, it is developed after exposure of drug and not present naturally. That's why it is called as acquired tolerance. To regain the effect of that drug in that individual in which tolerance is developed for that drug, we have to increase the dose of that drug. So we can get the effect of drug but at higher dose. That is nothing but the acquired tolerance. At higher doses, it may produces the effect which is achieved previously. Okay. Body is capable of producing tolerance to many drugs, and mainly tolerance develops in CNS depressant drugs mostly. CNS depressant drugs like opiates or barbiturates, in them chances of development of tolerance are greater. Now this acquired tolerance, it is again subdivided into two types. First is tissue tolerance and second is cross tolerance. So we will discuss what is tissue tolerance and what is cross tolerance. So what is tissue tolerance? Here tolerance is developed to certain effects of the drug and not for the all effects of the drug. So drug is producing various effects in our body. Here tolerance is not developed to all the effects of the drug. Tolerance is developed to specific effects of the drug, some effects of the drug. So it depends upon the tissue, isn't it? So that's why it is called as tissue tolerance. Tolerance develops on certain tissues only and not on all the tissues. Hence it is called as tissue tolerance. I will elaborate it with an example. Morphine is an opioid analgesic. Along with analgesic effect, it produces various effects in human like euphoric effect, constipation effect and pinpoint pupil effect. But after repeated use of that morphine, tolerance is developed to only euphoric effect and tolerance is not developed to analgesic effect, tolerance is not developed to the constipative effect, tolerance is not developed to pinpoint pupil effect. So here only for euphoric effect tolerance is going to be developed. So only a specific type of tissue it gets affected and in that tissue only tolerance is going to be developed. So this is nothing but tissue tolerance. Understood? Now we will discuss about another type of acquired tolerance, that is cross tolerance. Now it is nothing but the development of tolerance to pharmacologically similar or related drugs. Let me elaborate. If tolerance is developed to one drug after its repeated administration, tolerance is developed in that individual to other drugs too belonging to the same category or class which are not administered by that individual previously. So these drugs are not administered by that person or the individual previously. So because of chemically related drug or drug from a class, tolerance is developed for drugs which are not administered by that individual. This is called as cross tolerance. It is like that if our friend has dispute with someone because of his personal reasons, we are also having dispute with that person without any personal reason. We are having dispute with that person. Why? That person is having dispute with your friend. You are not having any personal reason for that. Understood? So that is called as cross tolerance. Similarly here, if tolerance is developed to any one drug, tolerance is developed to another drugs belonging to same category which are not administered before. This is nothing but cross tolerance. Let me elaborate it with an example. Alcoholics are relatively tolerant to barbiturates and general anesthetics. Understood? Let me elaborate. Alcohol, barbiturates and general anesthetics are, all these three substances are having general CNS depression property. An alcoholic person repeatedly administering the alcohol, and because of this repeated administration of alcohol, tolerance develops in that individual for alcohol. Okay, alcohol is repeatedly administered by that individual and tolerance is developed for alcohol here. But if barbiturates or general anesthetics are given in that individual at first time also, tolerance for these drugs, that is barbiturates or general anesthetics, is present in that individual even though the person is taking these drugs at the first time. Tolerance is already present. Why this tolerance is present? This tolerance is present because of tolerance is present for alcohol, and alcohol, barbiturates and general anesthetics belonging to same category, that is CNS depression category. Understood? So as alcohol, barbiturates and general anesthetics are belonging to same category, CNS depression category, due to development of tolerance for alcohol, tolerance also develops for barbiturates or general anesthetics. And for at the first time use of the drug also, we have to increase the dose of these substances to achieve the effect of these substances or these drugs. This is called as cross tolerance. Understood? Now we will discuss another type of tolerance, that is pseudo tolerance. So what is pseudo tolerance? Already we had discussed that in true tolerance, once tolerance is developed for a drug in an individual, it is developed if drug is taken by any route. Okay, it is not related with the route of the drug, it is related with the drug which is taken by that individual. Okay, but in pseudo tolerance, tolerance is limited to a particular route of administration of drug. It is observed only with oral route of administration of drug. If a small quantity or small amount of drug is taken repeatedly by oral route, tolerance is developed in that individual for that drug only if drug is taken by oral route. If that drug is taken by any other route than oral route, like inhalation or intravenous route, drug produces its effect or drug produces its toxicity in that individual. Okay, this type of tolerance is called as pseudo tolerance. For example, when a small amount of poison is taken by a person orally and repeatedly, individual becomes tolerant to such poison only by oral route of administration, and he can increase the amount of poison day by day. Even though after the increasing dose of poison by oral route, in that person no toxic effects are going to be produced of that poison. Why it happens? Because if drug is taken orally, small amount, then also repeatedly, tolerance is developed, but only tolerance is developed if drug is taken by oral route. That is very important here. Same poison, small amount of poison, if it is taken by any other route, for example if it is taken by intravenous route or intramuscular route, then there are chances of production of effect or toxic effects of that poison in that person, in which tolerance is developed for that particular drug by oral route also. So if drug is taken by other route, it produces toxicity. This is not a true tolerance. If tolerance developed for a particular drug, it should be developed if drug is taken by any route. That is true tolerance. Here, if you are changing the route, tolerance is not present. That is called as pseudo tolerance. Now we will going to discuss another concept which is related with the tolerance, that is tachyphylaxis or acute tolerance. So what is tachyphylaxis or acute tolerance? As name indicates, acute means rapidly developing tolerance. Acute means rapid development. Within short interval of time, if tolerance it is going to be developed, that is called as acute tolerance, or we can say that rapid development of tolerance is called as acute tolerance. Actually, we know that to develop the acquired tolerance, drug should be taken or administered repeatedly for long duration of time, and then only tolerance is going to be developed. Understood? But here it is observed that if drug it is administered repeatedly within a very short period of time, short interval of time, it results in marked reduction in the or further increase in pharmacological response cannot be achieved. This mechanism is called as tachyphylaxis or acute tolerance. Example of acute tolerance is repeated administration of ephedrine in treatment of asthma leads to decrease in its response. So why there is decrease in the response of ephedrine if it is taken repeatedly within a short period of time? Why we are not getting that much effect which is achieved at the initial doses? Here you can see a nerve terminal in which vesicles are present, and vesicles are present with catecholamines. When ephedrine enters in our body and it goes to the nerve terminal, it enters into the nerve terminal and it binds with vesicles and rupture it. All the catecholamines which are present in that vesicle, these are released and enter in the neuroeffector junction. These catecholamines then get bind with their receptors present on the effector organ and they produces the effect. When we are going to increase the dose, more vesicles are ruptured and we get increase in the effect of ephedrine as more catecholamine molecules are released and they are reacting with the more receptors present on the effector organ, and the amplitude of action it is going to be increased. If we further increase the dose of ephedrine, now there are no vesicles are present in the nerve terminal, hence no catecholamine is present to release there, and ultimately we will not get effect of ephedrine because catecholamines are not present there. So ephedrine is producing its effect through the catecholamines, but now catecholamines are not there. How it going to produce its effect? Because the mediator, that is catecholamines, are not present there. So we can see that there is decrease in the activity of ephedrine if it is taken in a very short interval of time. Understood? Now acute tolerance or tachyphylaxis is also develops if drug detaches or dissociates very slowly from the receptors. As drug dissociates very slowly, it leads to blockage of the receptors, and hence even though concentration of drug is increased, receptors are not available or not free to react with the drug, and intensity of response remains constant. There is no increase in the intensity of response even though we are increasing the concentration. Why? Drug is dissociating from the receptor very slowly. It may also develop due to the increased rate of metabolism of drugs by inducing the hepatic enzymes. For example, barbiturate. Barbiturate is the drug which induces hepatic enzymes. As a number of enzyme increases, increase in the rate of metabolism of drugs, and if drug it is going to be metabolized rapidly, it becomes ineffective rapidly. So we can lose the effect of the drug and we are not getting the effect of drug as we require. Okay, now it is time to summarize today's presentation. In this presentation we had discussed drug tolerance in detail. If an unusual large dose of drug is required to produce the effect which is previously produced by its therapeutic dose, then this phenomena is called as drug tolerance. Then we had discussed types of drug tolerance as true tolerance and pseudo tolerance. In true tolerance we had discussed that if true tolerance is developed for a particular drug in particular individual, it is developed if drug is taken by any route. So it is not related with the route of administration, it is related with the drug. And we discussed that it is of two types, natural tolerance and acquired tolerance. Natural tolerance is present from the birth in various animals or species or races of animals, and depending upon that, natural tolerance is again divided into species tolerance and racial tolerance. Second type, that is acquired tolerance, it is not present from the birth. To develop tolerance for a particular drug in a particular individual, that individual has to administer that drug repeatedly on continuous basis for long duration. Then only this type of tolerance is developed, that is called as acquired tolerance. Acquired tolerance is again divided into two types, that is tissue tolerance and cross tolerance. Tissue tolerance means tolerance is developed for particular effects of the drug, and cross tolerance means if tolerance is developed for a drug, tolerance is also developed for other drugs belonging to same category. Then we had discussed pseudo tolerance, and pseudo tolerance is associated with the route of administration mostly and not related with the drug. Mostly it is developed if drug is taken by oral route. And finally we had discussed about the acute tolerance or tachyphylaxis, which is nothing but rapid development of tolerance. Thank you for listening me patiently. If you like this presentation, please click on subscribe button and bell icon to get notifications of all my new videos. If you have any queries, you can contact me on my mail address which is given in the presentation. Thank you once again.